lines. Wahiga, good evening.
Yeah, thank you, Janet. I think it's good to start that way. Good evening. Hussein has forgotten his manners. It's okay. I know he had missed you. And since you returned, his suits are more colorful. He has somebody to talk to.
You're going to create problems.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Welcome back, Janet. Welcome back.
Thank you, Wahiga. Thank you.
Right, of course, when you were away, our trends took a slight diversion, taking a look at more statistics with what's been happening with... we start today's trends on a rather somber note. We know what happened in Somalia last week, of course. We lost our brave KDF soldiers there. May God rest their souls in peace. And of course, Kenyans on Twitter went onto social media to comment on the same, expressing their anguish at the matter. And these are some of the statistics. The hashtag, one of them, there were many, was I stand with KDF. Trending in Kenya, 91% of the hashtag's content came from Kenyans, 1% in Uganda, 2% in Great Britain, and the rest of the number, to make 100%, scattered across the different countries. Just to tell you how many people were actually talking about in terms of reach, let me just break this down for you, Janet. In terms of reach, how many people actually saw this hashtag? 3.6 million people. How many interacted? By interacted, I mean actually tweeted about it, 508. And how many posts? About 703. But, of course, there was greater interaction because not everyone was using this particular hashtag. What were they saying? We have the former Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo, saying security agencies die in the line of their duties for our sake. May their bravery and heroism be forever remembered and honored. Hashtag I stand with KDF. We also had Julie Gishuru saying that my father is a retired officer. We know the sacrifices of military service. Praying for all our soldiers and their families. I stand with KDF, also on the same hashtag. Of course, some accompanied with pictures. Shedi Mutua saying, may the Lord rest their souls in peace and grant their beloved ones with strength to stand again. And of course, light a candle for our soldiers. A lot of people are posting the same message across the weekend. And finally, Washington Munene saying, when you sleep and party, just remember that there's a man in Somalia fighting for that peace, and that is my hero. So, of course, very, very sad couple of days it's been for Kenyans, and they went on to social media to discuss that. And the trend didn't just actually end there. This morning, before Twitter went down, which you aptly mentioned, there was also a hashtag, someone tell Al-Shabaab. And, of course, Kenyans on Twitter also trying to express what they feel about everything that's been happening. This hashtag reached 326,000 people. 197 actually tweeted or posted something about it. 288 posts. I think there could have been more. It's just that Twitter went down. And so that eventually happened. Let's see what Kenyans were saying in regards to the same. We had Vincent Masisa saying Kenyans will never be divided against, I bet he meant on tribal lines. Someone tell Al-Shabaab, sending a strong message out there. Rocky Jr. saying we are coming in hard on you as youths. We are ever ready for recruitment. Basically saying we're not scared of actually joining the KDF. Strong message there from young people on social media. A few more tweets on the same matter. This is from the poet and blogger saying our fallen soldiers are heroes to humanity and Al-Shabaab is just a group of cowards with the most evil role to play. And finally, Bob Odhiambo saying, someone tell the brains behind the hashtag that the terrorists can't be scared away by a mere hashtag. Can we do better? And of course, that's the question of how effective are you sending messages on social media vis-a-vis actually doing something on the physical platform. But nevertheless, I believe the message has been spread out. And for those who can't actually go and join the KDF, this is the way in which they're able to communicate their own message.
Right.
I don't know.
Solidarity, of course. Solidarity, Wahiga, and again, we say Paul and condolences to family and friends.
Absolutely.
Very, very sad. And of course, that has been the biggest talking point on Twitter at the moment. But of course, let's take a look at what else has been happening. And don't forget the month that we are in, January. It doesn't seem to be ending. And so tips to survive this January also trending. I just want to correct that. Actually this is correct. USA 7%, Uganda 2%, Kenya 81%. The rest of the percentage leading to 100 spread out across. Kenyans also talking about this. And let's take a look at the type of engagement we had. In total, we'll be able to tell you exactly how many people are actually talking about this particular trend. We should be getting that up shortly. There we go. Okay, well, we'll just move on straight. Before you fall in love, test the strength of your heart by playing Sport Pesa with your school fees. Of course, this is all about tips to survive in January and, of course, gambling as well. This is an interesting SMS conversation between, I guess, a person and their lover. So it begins with, I'm fine, how are you? I'm fine, I need cash, of course, in January. And gibberish is the response. And then the response is, I can't read that. What do you mean? More gibberish. And then the last one, I think your keypad has a problem. Talk later, and I love you. And suddenly the other person says, I also love you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I don't know if that would work. Ways in which you can save money.
So good.
Another one, take a very big breakfast in January, and you're not going to have a problem.
I don't think that person seems to have a problem with January.
That's supposed to last for the month.
Exactly, yes. Unless it's lasting for the month.
That's the joke.
Somebody actually said that if you're eating chicken in January, you belong to a cult that makes you rich overnight. I don't know.
Oh no, look at that.
We have Kiama saying in January you can cook stories and eat them. That's another kupiga story, and that's one. Now let's cross over to our neighbors, Uganda. February 18th, the elections are looming large, and of course on Friday there was that big debate that everyone was talking about, and His Excellency the President Yoweri Museveni did not attend it, but Ugandans nevertheless watched the debate. They were discussing it. 92% in Uganda, 2% in Kenya, 1% in the USA, and of course across the different regions as well. Let's take a look at how many people actually engaged in this hashtag. And I know Kenyans also were following it. 3.3 million people actually saw the hashtag in one form or the other. 365 were tweeting about it, while 702 posts in total were posted at the time when we took these statistics. Of course, the numbers may have grown, and some may have been tweeting without the hashtag. This is the letter by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni saying that he will not be able to attend because of the notice given and so forth. So that was a big discussion there because, of course, many wanted him to attend. And I put this
I think it's important. I don't know if you can read some content of that letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Why
for the
exactly he
invitation.
said he can't come?
Let me read that very quickly. Thank you for the invitation to the presidential candidates debate. Unfortunately, it arrived after our candidate, and of course this is written by his principal private secretary. Our candidate's campaign schedule had been drawn. Secondly, and most importantly, he realized that the majority of our voters may not be able to watch the debate.
Oh my goodness.
So he had two options: either continue his campaigns, which is 4 rallies, and thus be able to get his message to maybe 4 times 500,000 is 2 million, or go for the debate and catch what he believes is a smaller segment of the nation.
And just a few hours of his time.
Those were his reasons. Very quickly, before the debate started, a DVD was out, Uganda Decides 2016. So what happens in Uganda also happens in Kenya. When the Pope came to town, even before he finished his tour, a DVD was also available.
Right.
Let's see what other Kenyans and Ugandans were tweeting. This is a little joke there when you're at your own funeral and you realize that His Excellency the President has agreed to come for the debate, and you wake up and you go and attend, and you go and watch it. So also another joke there by Kahinda.
Yeah.
And one more, there we go. Interesting one there. What debate? No, not soon. I have errands to finish. Uganda decides. Of course, picking up on files footage, a picture of the president in earlier days.
Oh,
now,
this was funny.
this is what has been trending today. We have a comedian there known as Jugush, and we have one member of what is arguably Kenya's biggest boy band, BN. And I don't know if you can see that resemblance.
I saw this trending yesterday. That was hilarious.
It's been hilarious. And here's a second one as well. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know if it's a start to finish kind of discussion, but nevertheless, it has
I don't know what to say
big
about it either. Maybe Janet.
talking point. I hope we can get one of Hussein before after. And finally, when it comes to music composition, we always complain about how come Kenyans sing other people's songs and other people don't sing our songs. This video that you actually teased earlier is interesting because it's a song sung by the US Navy, written by an American Chinese, but sung in Kiswahili.
Wow.
My challenge to you, Hussein and Janet, is if you can tell me a few of the words that were spoken in this song, then you know, your Kiswahili skills are up to par.
That's Janet's challenge.
Oh, that's Janet's.
Can we just watch it first? Let's just enjoy it.
Let's enjoy it
Let's start
first.
with that, yeah.
And then we'll come back.
In my defense, I didn't hear much, but I will watch the full video later. And then let
You didn't get even one word.
No, I didn't hear it much. I didn't hear.
Okay.
But that's beautiful. Yeah.
Did you hear one
See,
word?
It's not even
One
strange.
word.
It's not even strange to Janet Wahiga because
No, it's
Janet can't speak Swahili.
No,
so,
I can.
you know.
I can.
You can.
But I think what's important here, Wahiga, is how beautiful that moment was.
You are very smart at diverting the question. I congratulate you for that. I think you should be hosting. You should be a guest on Hussein's show.
But
Because he can't pin you down.
It's such a beautiful moment, though, isn't that?
It really is,
Beautiful.
and I think it's a proud moment to be a
Yeah.
fan. And
Yeah.
to brag that we came up with that song even though we actually didn't. So that's what happened. Well, that's all we have. Of course, thanks to Sydney Aburi and, of course, our graphics team as well for helping us to come up with that. That's what we have on today's social media trends. We'll have more fun, facts, and madness next week.
All right. Thank you
Wahiga.
so much, Wahiga Maura, for that.
Right, and we'll join him again next week, as he says, same time, same place, God willing. We'll take